moms, if you are exhausted, overwhelmed, working this 24/7 job as a parent, and you just need a little bit of hope and you need somebody to understand what you're going through. So this mom was at that place where she was pretty numb. She kind of like hit rock bottom and she was looking for natural solutions because the medications that she was on was sending her on a roller coaster ride. There are some phenomenal, life-changing stories in my playlist here. So I hope you're enjoying it. And there will be links in the description of how you can also try this protocol and see if it can give you more energy, encouragement, zest for life, and better parenting and better relationships overall. And don't forget to subscribe to see more. This is going to be an incredible story. Mamas, listen up. This mom, Gail, mom with young kids, just feeling numb, feeling overwhelmed. This job is no joke, parenting 24/7. So I'm just going to let you go and tell your story. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And I'm hoping that other moms will have some hope and know that there's things that you can do to make things better and less stressful. So tell us where you were at and then what you did to start feeling better.
It all started about 3 years ago. I had my second child and I had 2 under 2. Everything was great. I was going to go back to work. I didn't know for sure what I wanted to do, but I just wasn't going to go back to the job I was at before. I wanted to kind of venture out. And then I had a 2-week-old and a 21-month-old at home with me, and daycare texted me and said, I'm going to close daycare. So that got real fast because, as most of you know out there, daycare is really hard to find right now. So I said, well, I'll open up a daycare. So daycare was fine. Everything went great, but I nursed my youngest baby and I nursed my oldest one before then. So that wasn't a big deal, but I got to get out and like socialize and see other people. Well, then the pandemic hit. So I was at home with 2 under 2, plus my daycare kids, which the daycare kids, they were easy. You know, it was my own 2 that you never got clock out. I never got to leave at 5 o'clock. I was still mom. I was so overstimulated, overtouched, which that's a real thing. And my husband found out real fast. Don't come giving hugs after work because Mama Bear needs to leave. So I would try and go out, you know, go on walks, see friends, whatever. Well, then, like I said, the pandemic hit. They pretty much shut down everything I ever did. We couldn't even go to park. So my mental health, it was just gone. I mean, I was on autopilot. There'd be times my husband would find cereal in the fridge because I just brain fog. And I knew I needed something. So I went to my doctor and I told him what was going on. And he threw some medicine at me. And I'm like, great, this is, you know, an easy fix. I'm going to be back to the way I was 9 months before I had this baby. Everything's great. Then came the side effects and then the withdrawals of switching from one to the next. And everybody is different. And it started messing with my nervous system also. I was on the phone with my sister in the store and my hand just seized up and like I couldn't let go of the object. It was super strange. So then I went on a different medicine and I just was on this journey of trying to find just a puzzle piece that fit and I couldn't. My marriage was suffering because I was super snippy and to my husband, to my kids, you know, and he's like, where did my wife go? Where did the girl that I married go? Because this isn't, you know, motherhood is hard. We all, if you've been there, you get it, the hormones. And then you have little babies who have hormones too that, you know, they want the attention and they need it, you know, and I'm their lifeline. So that was hard to try and fill my cup when my cup was just, it was a bottomless pit. Like I just couldn't. So then my cousin reached out to me and talked to me about this new wellness company and she was doing great on it. And so I was like, well, let me check it out. So I started taking the happy juice. Her posts were great. I'm like, yeah, good for her. It's not going to work for me. Well, my husband came home for lunch one day and I'm cleaning like a mad woman and I'm happy and joking and laughing. And he's like, okay, what's going on? Like, what did you take? And I'm like, no, I promise. Like all I did was this drink that Chauncey told me to take and started taking it, whatever. And slowly everything kind of just started coming back into place of I need to take care of me so I can take care of them. You know, I need to put me first from time to time because self-love is not selfish. It's a necessity. And so I joined Amare. I was like, well, what do I have to lose? I can check out the products. I'm not out much, you know, just what I am currently taking. It's replaced my coffee in the mornings. I tried a few different things. Obviously, I still take my vitamins and stuff like that, but I am 100% medication free. And I'm happy for that because I have no other side effects, no withdrawals. Like it's all out of my system, which some of that stuff can take weeks and months to get out of your system and for you to feel normal. And it's just given me back my me. I feel like I put myself first, so then my kids are right behind me. But as I put myself first, I'm a much better person. I'm a happier person. I have way more energy. My husband and I, we're back to where we used to be. And I mean, of course, we have our days and moments, but, we're
Amazing.
married with a 3 and 5 year old.
Oh, this is like what fills me up so much
Hmm.
because, and moms will always say, I got to take care of my kids. Or sometimes they'll say, yeah, I want to try these products for my kids. I'm like, well, what are you doing for you? Because
Yep,
you're the foundation of the family. When you take care of you, you're taking care of your kids. It's like the best thing you can do for your kids is take care of you. So
definitely.
everything has changed in your family because it trickles
Mhm.
down, right? If you're not feeling good and you're snapping at the kids, then you feel
Mhm.
even worse because you feel guilty that you snapped at your kids and
Yep,
the husband and the whole thing is just amazing. The
yep.
impact that we are having in family definitely become like my life's work. And I know that you are also very passionate about sharing it with other moms, which is so important,
Yes.
so important. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Anything else you want to add?
I will say that it's been easy to even just talk about because it comes up all the time. I mean, if
Yeah,
mental health is a thing and it's been a stigma for so long. I mean, in the 40s, they'd go visit their sisters and they'd actually be put in like a mental institution and nobody knew about it. Now it's like, no, you need to talk about it. You need to address it because if you don't, unfortunately, we might see a horrible incident on the news. I have some mental issues in my family also, and we've gotten really good about just exposing it and discussing it because if not, it's like those skeletons in the closet that
right.
once it could be too late, we're like, well, why didn't we discuss it? So I'm all about, I'm an open book and I have a mom talking to me right now and she runs a daycare also. And she goes, I've always put myself last and I need to start putting myself first. And
Yeah.
I said, I have literally walked in your shoes. I know exactly what you're talking about. So that is huge. I have friends who are like, I can't believe you put that stuff on Facebook and how like vulnerable you are putting it out there. And I'm like, but you know how many people have reached out to me individually and said, thank you for sharing that. So
Yes.
I just think being aware that it's not just one size fits
Mhm.
all. I mean, the line has so much that everybody in your family could or friends could possibly benefit. So I'm just super grateful I found this company and my cousin nudged me the right way. So we're all happy in the plan now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so true. Like, I'm glad that we're talking about it more. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Because we have to. People can't be suffering in silence, and
Yep,
they need holistic solutions that can help. Um,
definitely.
like you experience yourself, that so many side effects with medication. So you got to be really, really careful. So if you can try this as a first line, and
Yep,
then I mean, sometimes medications are necessary, but for the most part, it's simply an imbalance in the body that we can balance out, and then you feel better, right? Just amazing.
definitely.
So amazing. Well, thank
Mhm.
you again for sharing your story. Keep on sharing it because there's so many moms out there that
Mhm.
aren't talking about it. And when they hear you, it's like, yes, I can relate to that. And
Yep,
that's what we have to do is just bring these mamas all on board and get people feeling better, families being stronger, healthier, happier.
mhm.
That's what we do here at the Mental Wellness Company. All right. Well, thank you so much, Gail. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
you.
Dale.
All right. We'll see you again.
All
And we have
right, have a
lots
good
more
one.
stories. Yeah, we have lots more stories too. So if you want to see more, comment, see more, and we will invite you into, different groups with thousands and thousands of stories similar to this.